In lesson 3 of mod 3, we're working on adding fractions with unlike denominators, and we're using models in order to get common denominators. Okay, our first one, we have 1/4 times 1/3. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to model our 1/4, and I'm going to split the first one down the center. Then I'm going to split the 2 halves into quarters. And it says 1/4, so I'm going to go ahead and shade in 1/4. Now the second one says thirds. So I'm going to split this model up into thirds. And then I'm going to shade in 1/3. Now, this was 1/4 and this is 1/3. Now, in order to get a common denominator, I'm going to do a combining of the two fractions. So my thirds, I'm going to go ahead and carry them straight over to the other model. And my quarters, I'm going to carry them straight over to the third model. Now, as you can see on this one here, instead of 1/4, I now have 3 shaded out of a total of 12 blocks, plus my 1/3, which I now have 4 shaded out of a total of 12 blocks. So if I were to take these 4 and put them over in the other one to the left, I would end up with 7/12. So 3 plus 4 is 7, and we do not change the denominator. On B, once again, we have 1/4, and we're adding that to 1/5. So we're going to go ahead and model our 4th again. And I'm shading in 1/4. On our second model, I'm making fifths. And I'm shading in 1/5. Now on my 4th model, I'm just going to carry my fifths over to it. On my 5th model, I'm going to copy my 4ths over to it. Now for our 4ths, our equivalent fraction is going to be 5/20. And our 5ths is going to be 4/20. We add the fractions, we add numerators. 5 plus 4 is 9. 20 for our denominator remains the same. So we want 9/20. Once again, now we have 1/4 plus 1/6. We're modeling our 4ths. And on my second one, I'm modeling 6. And I'm shading in 1/6. Now I'm going to transfer my 6 to my 4ths. And on my 6, I'm going to copy my 4ths. Now for my 4ths, I can see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we know our denominator is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by a 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 times 4, we're going to have 24 blocks. For our 1/6, we're going to have 4 by 24 blocks. And we add our numerators, 6 plus 4. And if you write it as an equation, you could go 6 plus 4 over 24, which equals 10/24. For our last model, we have 1/5 plus 1/9. And I'm going to go ahead and model my 5ths. Shading in 1/5. Now, as you can see, we're going to do ninths, and these are going to be rather small. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to have to add a 9th down here underneath. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have our ninths. And I'm going to go ahead and shade in 1/9. Now we're going to move our ninths over. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And we're on our ninths. We're going to copy our fifths over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we know we have a 5 by a 9, so that's our new denominator is going to be 45. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 45s plus 5 45ths. We add them together, 9 plus 5 is going to give us 14 45ths. Solve the following problems, draw a picture, and write a number sentence that proves the answer. Simplify your answer if possible. Now it says, Ray just jogged 3/4 mile and then walked 1/6 mile to cool down. How far did he travel? So I'm going to start by I always want to do a tape diagram when I have a word problem. It says here 3/4 mile and then 1/6 mile. And this is what he jogged. And this is what he walked. And the question wants to know the total. Okay, so we can see we're going to end up with 3/4 plus 1/6. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw myself a square. This is going to be my 3/4. I'm going to draw a second square. Kind of crooked, but this will be my 1/6. Now 3/4, I'm going to go ahead and color in. After I get my fourths drawn, I'm going to go ahead and color in 3/4 of it. There's 1, 2, and 3/4. Now we're going to do our 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we have 1/6. Now, for our 3/4, we're going to carry our 6 over. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And our 6, we're going to carry our quarters over. Because there's a half. And I'm going to split my halves in half for quarters. Now you can see that we have 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 3 by 6 shaded, so that's going to be 18. And our total is a 4 by 8, so it's going to be 4 by 6, so it's going to be 24. So we'll get 18 24s. Plus, our second one has 4 shaded out of 24s. Adding them together, we're going to get 22 24s. Now it says to simplify your answer if possible. The way I like to simplify, okay, is I'm going to go ahead and break this down. And I know 2 times 11 is equal to 22. And 2 times 12 is equal to 24. Now, I see here I'm multiplying by 2 and I'm dividing by 2. So I can cancel the 2's out. And that leaves me with 11 twelfths. So that would be the simplified version. So it equals 22 24ths, which is also equal to 11 twelfths. Okay, Sam read 2/5 of her book over the weekend and 1/6 of it on Monday. What fraction of the book has she read? What fraction of the book does she have left? Now this is a great one for a tape diagram to make sure that you get all questions answered. Now it says that she read 2/5, and that was over the weekend. and it says she read 1/6 on Monday and wants to know how much was left. Now the total on this one is going to be 1 whole, because that's the whole book. So let's see. In order to figure out how much they read, we can see we're going to have to add 2, we got 2/5 plus 1/6 to find out what the total amount she read. So let's go ahead and do our 2 models. And the first one is 2/5, so I'm going to split them up into fifths. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I'm shading in 2 of the 5. The next one I got 1/6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I'm shading in 1/6. So now I'm going to transfer my 6 over. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And on this side over here we had 1/6, and we're going to transfer our fifths over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now you can see we actually have a square over on the first one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 6. So our denominators are going to be 30 on both. And I can see I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 shaded in over here. And over here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shaded in, for a total of 17/30. So she read 17/30 of the book. Now out of 1 whole, so we're 1 minus 17/30. Well, 1 can be represented as 30/30 minus 17/30, which means she has 13/30 left. So there's one answer for left. This here's one answer for how much she read.